Hello model car fans, welcome to the Muscle Car Modeler. My name is Revell, and you guys seen my video where I featured this car, and I've been asked a few times to please show us the project. Let's see your other one. So I finished this one in 2006, but this is the other one that I had started in 2006 also. But and it was shortly after doing this one, I had such a good time building this one, I wanted to build another one. And it just sort of stalled. I get kind of excited and motivated, but such is life. You buy another model kit, you get excited about that one. You buy another model kit, you're looking at it going, man, how am I going to build this one? I'm guilty of that all the time. I can buy them faster than I can build them, and that's what happens. Is I got this one done. I already had one done. Here's a second one I was going to do the same thing with, and I got excited about it, and I had started it. And I was building it, and I was casting some of the parts to do it. And then it kind of stalled. It was like, all right, well, motivation kind of went out the window because I bought other kits, got excited about building them. This one was started, and I got a whole stack of about 30 or 40 that are started. So that's where most of these are coming from, are kits that I had started. So if you notice some of the themes here is I'm getting some of them done that I had started. And I'll show you more of what's in this one. So, of course, it started with the Nash Bridges Kit, and this is from 2003, I believe. Let's see, where's it on here? Yep, 2003. And I love this kit. I've bought 2 or 3 of them at the time. I believe I bought 2 originally, and I built those 2, and then I went and bought this one, picked this one up as my 3rd one. So, there hasn't been a whole lot actually done to this. I've got my notes here, which there's the notes of the 70 cars, the 14 US cars and what colors they were, and then the 71 cars, but don't have a whole lot of details. And here's the production information where it talks about 70 Plymouth Cuda Convertible 426. Then this column is manual tranny US cars, 9 automatic tranny US cars. Then this column is export cars, actually Canadian cars. And that was exports, so for a total of 18. And this actually lists all the rarest cars. So you got the 70 GTO Judge Convertible Ram Air 4. Just kind of neat. I like finding these things and researching them. This was off, a different site that pointed this out, and I printed it, and it's been sitting in my folder for a while. Actually got it off of this 67 Shelby GT500 convertible, which I do want to build one of those. And so I like my convertibles, of course, which is what these notes are. So there's my notes. And here's, I kind of showed this briefly in another one, but here's the kit. I really haven't done any mods to the car itself other than filling in the tunnel. That's just epoxy putty because I don't want to see, when you get the interior tub in there, you can't see past the drive shaft into all that stuff, which is something that is happening on this one. You can see through it, you can see the body color on the inside. Now I generally black out the entire inside of the body so that you can't see that even when it's done. But this one I didn't do that, but call it a lesson learned, but that's just how I do them now. I still have to fill in the vents here. They're kind of, no, they haven't been sanded, so nothing on this has been sanded. I'll have to sand that off and sand this molding off because that's a 71 molding. I'm going to leave the exhaust and everything molded in just the way Revell issued it. But when it comes to some of the rest of this stuff, now I did add some parts. What's interesting in here is most of the parts are right from the kit. But these are now in the 1/25th scale. So I took these out because previously, as I mentioned on that one, I had resin cast some hood louvers off of a street rod and did it in sections. Now this one, the only problem I have is I got to strip the paint out, but they're just a little short, and I may just lengthen it or try to add a few. But I really, all of the Revell 1/25th scale Cudas come with these, and I believe they're also in the Sox & Martin Cuda kit. And I don't believe that car uses them. So I know I have the ones from the TA, which I didn't need, which is the ones I threw in here. And I've got one more set of them. Everything else in here is the monogram stuff. Yeah, here's the second one. So I've got 2. So I'll probably dig the other two out of there and then splice them together to get a proper length. And here's the rear end, which I kind of showed this in another video. I had spliced in the Dana 60, which would be more correct. So there's the Dana 60 spliced in, which being a stick and a Hemi car, it would have the Dana 60, which I did not do that to this one. I left the 8 3/4 rear end in there, which you can see right there, the 8 3/4 rear end versus the Dana 60 rear end. But it's gotten to the point where you can easily splice these in, so I did a video on doing the opposite, taking it out of the AAR Cuda kit and putting the 8 3/4 in it, where this one is the other way around. You got to splice it in the other way. So or the other thing I can do is cast this whole kit, but I think it's more work to actually cast this and make molds and then to actually just splice it in at this point. And I got some other interesting parts in here. Let's get some of this out. I bought these a long time ago. These are the resin wheels and tires, or just resin tires and decals from Auto Shop for Scale Equipment. I don't know if I'm actually going to use these because I remember they're hard resin and the wheels don't fit in there very well. Like, you really got to sand it and everything. And I've got, you know, the rubber ones as well, but I kind of like the idea of the decals versus the painted tires. But I think the painted tires on that look good. So I don't know if I'm actually going to use those, but those have been in there for a long time. Here's the dash unmodified. I think I got some other parts in here too. Yeah, there's the original dash. Here's a resin dash that has the rally pack gauges instead of the standard gauges, and that was spliced in. A friend of mine, Dan, had gave me these parts a long time ago. So Dan, if you're watching, I still have them, just still haven't used them, but it's in here. So that's what happened to this stall project. There's the directions and some of that stuff. Here's the grill, the 70 grill, as it drops right in there. That's just a MPB detail. I made a resin mold or silicone mold and copied it so I could have a few more. So that's where that came from. This is from Dan. Here's the taillights that you'd sand and splice in to make a 70. I may or may not use those at this point. Oh, these are in here. I was talking about the inserts from the hood. I'd cast and thinly sanded them, try to get them as thin as possible, and then splice them in. This is my original rocker molding idea, which is what I did do on that one. But they're in here, and lots of them. Wasn't really the best setup, but you know, didn't really have anything else to go by. Wasn't real foil casting at that time, but there's another section of it. Here's another one of the taillights. This was molded in a different resin. Oh, I gotta pull out the front valance. There's some more of those. Here's my front valance that I was casting. You can kind of see the 71 setup in here, and then where I'd filled in and epoxied, because when you sand the marker lights off, it leaves like little holes, so I had to fill those in, and then I had to ground the roundness here and widen it, because the 71 has some uprights and it's a little narrower. So, and I'd made molds and cast this, and I cast them with these chin spoilers on here. And I'm going to sand them off because they're not going to be on this car. So there's that part of it. And then of course the seats as provided by Revell, which are actually much more like a 70 than a 71. Then the shaker is going to be black on this one, of course. The rest of this is the kit parts. I did do the glue the engine together and paint it. This is the only painted part, well, other than the grill. This and the grill are painted, but I mean, what's the first thing you do when you get a kit? You glue the motor together and paint it, or at least glue it. I don't know how many build or models that I bought where you open the box up and the engine's glued together, and that's about it. That's as far as it went. But I think everything, the rest in here is pretty much right out of the box. But I also got, here's a set of the Fred Katy decals, sheet number, was it 269, where it's got the Hemi in red, white, and black, or gold, and then also this Big John racing decals, which You know, it's just the sheet they were on when I got them. I think this was a swap meet find, or I got it pretty cheap. And here's another set of decals. I got them in white. Another Fred Katy sheet where it's got Hemi and 440 and 383 and 340. So it's got all the ones in white and for the hockey stick stripe. And then the original decal sheet behind it, which has the 71 billboards in black, which that's right from the kit. And here's my motivation right here. I want to build this car. Black interior, black shaker, sublime car. Really would like to see this one done in green. So this is my motivation. I want to build this car. And I'll probably do the Eurostatic or electrostatic rubber bumper, whatever they call that. I'm not really sure of the word on that. But I know the spelling, but I don't really know the pronunciation all that well. But, you know, that's my motivation of what this car is going to turn out to be. So, those of you who want to see it, I think I'm going to get going on this one too, because it's really not going to take a whole lot of work to actually build it. Just need to get myself moving and get it primed and painted and start the body work. So I've got a few that need some body work, and since I build in batches, that's the way I kind of do it. So I'll get started on doing the body work on filling this fender vents and cleaning some things up and taking these pieces off of here, and I'll glue this in place. I'll paint that on the body already glued in place, which I just prefer on this particular one. But I'll get moving on this one. So those of you that wanted to see it, thank you for tuning in and subscribing, and stay watching for this one for updates, as it probably be another one that goes fairly quickly. But thank you for watching and subscribing and tuning in and all your comments. I really appreciate it. And you guys, you have a wonderful Saturday, and I'll see you next weekend.